thank you, Sharon, too, because Sharon was the one who I initiated contact with, and she's been very helpful in getting us going here in Viola Community Church. So with that, I will shut up and introduce our conductor, and he will give you a little bit of background on some of our music, and this is Jeremy Briggs.
Thank you so much for coming. We are super excited, especially given the whole pandemic and whatnot, of all of the pent-up energy of making music and wanting to get out and be a part of the community again. So this is the first foray into that, and we're thrilled that you've decided to make us a part of your evening tonight. So, and thank you once again to the Viola Community Church for hosting us here. We couldn't be more grateful for the rehearsal space and the time just to get together and make music during this difficult time. So tonight's performance, we're going to feature three Baroque titans of the Baroque musical era, all of which influenced music history from the point where they composed forward. They had massive influence on music history and its development. And they each had great influence on each other. Handel, George Friedrich Handel was born in 1685. J.S. Bach was also born in 1685, both probably about 50 miles away from each other. They could not have taken more divergent career paths, though, in terms of where they were in the world and what they actually accomplished in terms of their notoriety as composers at the time that they were living. Handel ended up moving from Halle, Germany, where he was born in 1685, to England, where he became a court composer to the royal court in the United Kingdom. He became composer, composed a lot of royal anthems, coronation anthems for King George I, a lot of music for the royal fireworks, music for the royal water music, all of those kind of pieces that we're probably somewhat familiar with. He was very cosmopolitan in his career. Traveled all over Europe, was very wealthy as a result of being a court composer. Composed a lot of music in opera genres, oratorios where you would feature chorus and orchestra, and most notably like the Messiah, the Hallelujah chorus, we've all heard that. In those kinds of performances, Handel was a very opportunistic composer insofar as he was always looking to cement his next gig as he goes along, right? And he's very, very good at making money and to support his luxurious lifestyle, I would say. So in his opera compositions and in his oratorios, he would often, at intermission time, throw in just a little tasty tidbit of what was coming next. And that's where one of these pieces, the piece that we're going to play tonight, the Concerto Grosso, Opus 6, number 2, comes into play. Often these kinds of pieces, they were shorter in nature. They were great for intermission to keep the audience entertained while the actors or the singers took a little bit of a break. And it would often feature tunes in the next installment of compositions that he would be doing. So kind of marketing in the 1700s, right? So in any event, he was definitely thinking about that. Vivaldi, on the other side of the coin, was very much an austere person. He lived in Venice, was a priest, and was head musical master in a girls' school in Venice, and was very much instrumental in using the forces that he had there as part of the school, namely string ensembles, to be writing all sorts of music. And it was a great vehicle for him to be able to vent his creativity. Italian music, and Italian Baroque music, and English Baroque music, and German Baroque music were all taking different parts of their own culture and heritage and throwing them into the music that they were composing. The Italians were big on flair and emotion and passion. The Germans were much more austere and focused on time and being very judicious in the way that they were composing. And the British was just sort of an amalgamation. Certainly there was also a lot of stuff going on in France as well, which was influencing all of that. But we're not doing any French composers tonight. But if you come to the next installment, maybe we'll do that. But J.S. Bach was actually very strongly influenced by the music of Vivaldi. He took this second piece that we're actually doing tonight, and in order to learn the Italian style, what his other Italian counterparts were doing, Bach would sit late at night with candles, and he would just actually copy scores of Vivaldi to learn how Vivaldi was writing music. And this is one of those pieces. You'll hear, there's an organ concerto by Johann Sebastian Bach, which is the exact same piece. It was him copying it late at night so he could play it on the organ and learn how Vivaldi was composing. So they all had influence on each other. Vivaldi dies in 1741. Handel's Concerto Grosso No. 2 that we're playing tonight was composed in 1741. So also another interesting mix there. So, and in addition to the old music that we are going to be doing tonight, we also are on the forefront, the cusp of new music. We are performing for the very first time a brand new composition composed by one of our own, Peyton. And when we get to it, we'll have her stand and give a few words about what inspired her. But for right now, just enjoy some wonderful music. The Handel is a series of, let's see, four movements? Four movements. Four movements. Sorry, I had to think for a second. So then the Vivaldi is in 3 movements, and each one will feature soloists throughout the orchestra. The first one, Handel, we will feature Tim in the Hyelim on the violin solo, and Aimee and Holly on the flute, and Vivian on cello, okay? And then the Vivaldi, we will feature Tim and Hyelim on the violin solos, and Aimee and Holly on the flute. And then Bach, we will feature Tim, Suzanne and Anne on violin solo, Holly and Aimee on flute solos, and then Vivian on cello. Okay. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for coming.
sounds like. I hope you'll find it a fun sea shanty. And my goal was to write for community orchestras like this or high schools. Thank you.